Welcome to the In Between Podcast, Episode 3. This week we're visiting with our friend Katy Roark. Katy's a fashion merchandising major, and she's got tons of great tips and tricks and ideas for the upcoming fall and winter seasons. And you're not going to want to miss this super fun interview. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our conversation with Katy. Hello, and welcome to Episode 3 of the In Between Podcast. We are so excited that you're tuning in, whether you're watching or listening. We're just so glad to have you with us. We're excited about this week's interview and all the stuff that's going on. And thank you for being with us.
We want to say a big shout out to our sister Kelsey, who's having a birthday today. We have the best birthday. And we are excited because today we are focusing on fashion, which is near and dear to Kelsey's heart, but we also wanted to learn a little bit about it. So we brought on Katy Roark, who you guys are going to absolutely love. So sit back, enjoy, and join us on this conversation with Katy. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the In Between Podcast. We are super excited. Today we have Katy Roark with us. Katy is a senior at TCU, Texas Christian University. She is a fashion major. Is that right?
That's right.
And she's become quite the little fashion blogger, but she's also just a really wonderful person. We've known Katy since she was a little girl, and just think that she has just blossomed into this just amazing young woman that is full of life and fun, but also just a really special person who's passionate about things. So Katy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're so excited. When we decided to invite Katy to be on, I was excited because I was like, ooh, we're going to have like a fashion episode, and we are not really like your fashion authorities in any shape or form, but we're going to go for it, and we're going to kind of like pick your fashionable brain a little bit. So we're going to get into the into it and over it. This doesn't have to be fashion related. My into it happens to be fashion related because I wanted to get your opinion on this. But so I've been really into kind of researching and like getting into what's called the capsule wardrobe.
Yes, I've heard about this.
Okay, well, I'm sure I'm like breaking all the rules or kind of making up my own rules. But since I moved and I've been here, I've realized I want to wear about the same 5 or 6 things every single day. And I have my closet is jam-packed full of clothes that I don't either want to wear them, have no desire to wear them. They either don't fit or I'm hanging on to them for who knows what reason. So I've kind of streamlined my closet and I'm kind of going with this whole kind of idea of a capsule wardrobe. So I'm super into it. And what are your thoughts? Like, what do you?
Okay, one of my friends is actually doing this right now, which is kind of funny because it's 2 sisters, and one of them is like, can't do it. She's like a huge anthropology girl, has like everything they've ever made, like cannot streamline. And the other one's like super modern, like wears black, gray, and white. So it's like very easy for her to streamline. I would love to imagine that I could do the capsule wardrobe, but I also know that like it's not going to happen for me. But I like hugely love the idea and think it's a great idea, especially since you just moved. I moved 3 times in the past like 3 years, and if I had a capsule wardrobe, that would have made life so much easier. And it's actually like simplifying your wardrobe down gives you a lot more options in other areas of your life, like accessories and like that kind of thing. Because I mean, like you, I wear pretty much the same thing every day. So it would be nice to streamline. I like the streamline idea. The only way I would modify it is I would do it by season. Because a lot of these like really cool girls who are doing the capsule wardrobe live in like Hawaii, so they don't have seasons really. Yes. But I would do it per season because we're in Texas and we all know how that goes. But I love the capsule idea.
Yeah, and for me, like it helped me because I went shopping yesterday, and I actually knew. Usually when I go shopping, it's just kind of a free for all.
Yeah.
I don't have anything in mind. If I happen to see something I like, I'm like, okay, sure. And then I get it home and it doesn't go with anything or whatever. Right. It really helped me go, okay, I'm looking for black and white because I bought this yesterday because it was like this fits in with my stuff or whatever. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. So what are you into right now?
So my into right now is kind of hair related. I'm that person who like, I'll wash my hair like every other day. And that's so bad for your hair. The reason why I've been kind of hair focused lately is I'm about to graduate. So everything is about to be on my dime, and blonde is expensive. So having blonde hair is expensive, having it maintained is expensive, having the right shampoo is expensive. So I did this like ombre thing, but I'm also realizing that washing your hair every other day uses a lot of products, and it's really bad for it. So I'm in this weird in-between stage, because if you want to get your hair back to healthy, you have to like not wash it for 4 days. So I'm really into dry shampoo right now. I use it pretty much every day. I really like the volumizing dry shampoo, because then you're like killing two birds with one stone. And I definitely wasn't into it before. I was like, no, I'll just wash my hair. It takes me, 30 minutes, whatever. No, now I'm a huge dry shampoo girl. I think it can save your hair. So
okay, we have discussed dry shampoo. So what dry shampoo do you have a certain brand or a favorite?
Yes, I use Tresemme. I use a lot of their products. I also use their leave-in to prevent against heat damage before I blow dry my hair. I have very thin hair, so it's very finicky, so I have to be super careful what I do to it. But I like Tresemme a lot.
Awesome.
I also, Katy, I'm a big fan of dry shampoo. In fact, this is day 3 or 4.
Nice.
Yeah, it works. And I understand that blonde is expensive, but I'm just going with it. So
I'm about to be completely broke. So
yeah. Okay, so
you're in on a little secret. Dark is expensive too when you're turning gray. So there you go.
The roots just come out and you're like, awesome, great.
Yeah. So.
Well, let me tell you both what I'm into. I actually didn't realize I was into it until I was in my closet and I was looking at all of my shoes. And I don't know how this has happened, but this is so far removed from a capsule wardrobe. Somehow I own 7 pairs of leopard shoes. So apparently I'm really into them.
7!
It's a bit excessive for leopard, don't you think?
So like different styles,
I brought you a few. So I have this is my latest purchase. I have leopard booties. I have 2 pair of leopard, or maybe these aren't all leopard, but like flats.
Yeah.
And then I've got some heels.
Perfect.
And then I had leopard. I didn't bring them sandal wedges.
Perfect.
And, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of them was just my house shoes, so that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. No. Doesn't
Yeah.
count.
And then one other sandal variety. So that's summer and winter, but I didn't know I was into it, but apparently this is an issue. My mom always taught us that animal skin counts as a neutral. Do you agree, Katy?
I actually wrote a blog post about this. So fall and winter is when you really see people mixing prints. That's like a big print mixing time, whatever. Camo's really in style right now. I had to like force my way into camo because like my dad ruined me for camo because he has every kind and it's everywhere. But mixing prints is huge. And I wrote in a blog post kind of recently that leopard is a neutral. So if you're like trying to mix prints and you're not great at it, or you don't want to like venture into the color world, leopard's a really good thing to like jump off of and just leave it as your neutral, and then your other print can be more colorful or more vibrant or whatever because it's got all the neutrals in it. So I totally agree. I personally love that your staple shoes are leopard because that's just great. It says a lot about your wardrobe and I like it.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad to know that it's okay. So I'm just gonna rock the leopard this fall and winter. So okay, now let's talk about what we are over. I will go first. Since I'm talking about shoes, I will just go ahead and go there. I'm actually totally over painting my toenails. And I know some people are like committed year round. But as soon as I get to start wearing closed-toed shoes year round, I just, I just don't always have the time for it. So I'm over painting my toenails.
I'm over that too. Mine are actually completely not done. Like there's nothing on them and hasn't been for months, and I just can't bring myself to do it. But I would say the thing that I'm over, and this is totally related to my major and just kind of what we're learning about right now. I'm totally over fast fashion. Okay, there's a B. I'm sorry if I start doing this. I'm not just really energetic. There's like a B. So fast fashion, what that means. Fast fashion is any store that gets trends out really, really quickly and kind of overlooks quality. So like your Forever 21, your H&M, Zara, like those kind of stores are very fast fashion. So you would think that would be like my bread and butter because I'm like young. I really don't have a lot of money to spend. I really like trends, really like fashion. But there's this whole other side to fast fashion that we don't see. If you buy a t-shirt for $4 and you start kind of backtracking in your head how on earth that could cost $4, someone loses, and I'm going to tell you it's not Americans. So that's been kind of the thing I'm over lately, which is a hard thing to be over because even the other day I was like, oh, I just really need like a really simple like black skirt. I don't want to pay a lot of money. I'll just go to Forever 21. And I was like, I can't anymore because like I've watched the documentaries. I've seen kind of what happens. So no judgment if you shop there. I totally get why. I used to and probably still will in the future a little bit, but kind of over fast fashion now. I'm kind of trying to invest in classic pieces that I'll have forever, which I'm sure my mom will be super happy about. So.
Quality. Good. For me, I am super over, and again, I'm in Tennessee, but I think it's similar in Texas. I feel like summer is lingering. It's not getting cool, and I'm so ready for fall. I'm so ready for cooler temperatures. I want to wear the scarves. I want to put on my jackets. I want to wear, but it's like, seriously, like the high is 90 degrees here today. What is going on? So we're all just sweating our lives away here in Nashville in the middle of October. So anyway, I'm ready for it to cool off so that I can pull out my jacket. So
I'm with you.
I'm over it. That's it. Okay, so Katy, you mentioned a little bit, you are a senior, you're about to graduate, and that's kind of a fun season of life. And we like to talk to people about the seasons of life they're in and kind of what you're transitioning into. So tell us a little bit about kind of what's ahead for you or what the next few months may look like, kind of where you're at, and also what you're learning in this time.
As you prepare
for the next big thing.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. I just wrote another blog post about this. It hasn't come out yet or anything, but me and another fashion major are both graduating in December, and she is like on top of life. Like already has a job, already has a set salary, has already looked at apartments. Like she's on it. I am not. I have not applied. I do not know where I'm going to live. I am in complete denial. I spend my time making a mermaid costume for Halloween. That is where like my head is at right now. It's really funny because I sat down to write that blog post and I was like, this is a weird stage of life because on the one hand, it is so fun. It's the last couple months I have with absolutely no real responsibility, which I feel like I took for granted the past 4 years. And now I'm like clawing at it, trying to get it not to go away. But on the other hand, I know I'm about to start this part of my life that I've been training for 4 years, that I've been excited about and all this stuff. But I love the name of y'all's, what would you call it? Y'all's show, that the in-between is that I do feel like I'm in between, which is funny because I was writing this blog post and I was like, I do feel like I'm in between stages. I wish I was a freshman in college again, but I'm also ready to actually like have a job and be established and have something on my resume that's worth looking at. But I think when that happens, you can really miss what's happening right here, right now. And that's definitely the lesson I've been learning is that, yeah, I mean, the real world is going to knock on my door on January 1st. And if I'm ready, great. If I'm not, great. It's coming anyway. But I'm going to miss everything that's happening right now if I'm not careful. And for me, just like on a deeper level, I am one of those people where I can just kind of cut bait and go. And so it's very difficult because like right now I feel like I've done that in some friendships. I've just kind of cut bait and been like, I'm graduating. I've got to focus on me right now, when that's so not what we're called to do. And relationship is such a big part of our lives that that's not right. And so that's kind of been my lesson is like, yes, I do need to actually send in an application for a job. That needs to happen. But I also need to focus on the people who are right here, right now, or else I'll miss really cool things happening in their lives. Like, I mean, 2 of my friends just got engaged, and one of my friends is getting a puppy, and there's just all these little things kind of happening that if I get too freaked out over, oh my gosh, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? Who am I going to live with? Am I going to have enough money to live? Then I miss everything. So it's a great stage in life, and that I still don't have responsibility. I still have a credit card with April and Jason's name on it. That's awesome. But if I don't kind of hop on it right now, I'm going to be very, very out of luck come January. So it's a good stage, but it's also like a stage where I could really do some escapism if I tried. So
that's good. I like that. I like even what you said about that what kind of comes natural to you is that, cut bait and leave kind of thing. And I know in my own life, anytime that we can like see over the hedge, so to speak, that a new season is coming, I think people usually have one of two responses. Either they hold on for dear life to the current season because they are so scared, or they just peace out. And what you can see happening, and I know a lot of people that have done this is they look up and they're like, man, I didn't enjoy the last few moments of that season, and especially the relationship. So I think that's so wise that you're realizing that. I know in my life, my friends from college to this day are still some of my people, they live all over the country now, but there's just something about college when you build those relationships. So I think that's so good. That's really important. So tell me, I want to know a little bit about what made you want to go into fashion and study fashion?
So that's kind of a funny story. So I graduated valedictorian at my high school, and I like very clearly remember telling people when they were like, oh, what are you going to study? And I would say, I'm going to study fashion merchandising. And people will say the rudest things with the best intentions. I had people be like, you're not going to be a doctor. You're not going to be a lawyer. You're really going to throw that away, because they saw it as like one kind of smart. And I think that's what I decided when I joined into the fashion world, is I was like, I do get the logical, the analytical, like I get all that. I get math, I get science, I get that. But I kind of want something more out of the creative side of my life, because I think if we're not careful, we kind of pass that off as a hobby, and we just say like, oh, she's so creative, and consider it not her day job kind of thing. But I really want it to be my day job. And so when I joined into fashion, a lot of it was because I just love fashion. I do. Just at the core of it, I love trends. I love the cyclical nature of fashion, the history of fashion. I think it's all very interesting. But on the other side of it, which I kind of touched on earlier, is, it's the second largest industry in the world, right behind oil. So it's affecting everyone in different ways, and in ways that we don't really see, all the way from the cotton farmer to the person who spins the cotton, the person who cuts the fabric, the person who makes the fabric into a dress, and the person who sells the dress. So it touches everyone in a sense. And I really like that, because I've always, because of our church and because of my family, I've always been a very like globally minded person. So I enjoy the supply chain aspect of it, like who all is being affected by these decisions. And just on a totally emotional level, fashion can change the way you feel. It can change the way you feel about yourself. It can change the day you're having. It can definitely change the way you feel. And I feel like our market today is really geared towards the size 0 impossibly thin girl. And I want to see that change, because the average size in America right now is size 16. And that size is not being catered to. And so I feel like there's a lot of room for change. And it's also one of the few markets that's so big but feels so small. So I really like that as well. And there's just a million things you can do in fashion. When I chose the major, I didn't feel like I had to be a buyer or I had to be this or that. I knew that come senior year, which is right now, I could apply for almost any position and my major would apply. So there's a lot of reasons behind it, but I think the main reason was I've just always believed in making your passion your day job. And that's why I chose fashion.
Awesome. I love that. I can tell you as a little bit bigger girl, I'm just going to throw that out there. I can't always shop where my sisters shop or my mom shops, it's like, and it's so frustrating. I'm like, how hard is it to really make that shirt like 2 sizes bigger? Why are we not making cute clothes for, and I'm not like that plus size, but I can't wear the smalls and the extra smalls and things like that. And I'm like, there should be more options out there. And I think it is getting better, and there are. So it's encouraging to hear people say, like, let's in a sense cater to people who don't wear the sample size, or because that is not the majority of Americans. And so it's good, because like I went shopping yesterday, and you're really kind of like searching for, you see cute things on the mannequin or in the window, and it's like, oh, that's not actually in my size or whatever. So anyway, that's exciting to hear. I think you're going to really have an impact for sure. So tell us, Katy, because we are a tad older than you, because even as moms and 30-somethings and 40-somethings and whoever's listening right now, like you said, fashion can make you feel a certain way and really lift your mood and your spirit. And so I have gone through the seasons of like, it's time to get out of your yoga pants and put on something with a button. Like I've been in that season of life, and it made me feel better about myself. And sometimes the elastic waist makes me feel good too. But what is a tip that you would have for someone maybe our age, a little older, who still wants to be somewhat fashion forward and just look good and feel good, and fashion wise, what's a good tip?
I think my best tip would be, so my thing right now is I'm kind of like you. I was totally in the sweatpants, yoga pants phase of like, whatever, I don't care. And then I worked in LA all summer, and it really snapped me out of it, because in LA, that is not a thing. That does not exist. People are not dressed that way ever, like not even at home. So it really kind of snapped me out of it. But also, like, I'm a very practical person in fashion too. I do want to be comfortable. So the thing that I've very seriously probably bought 7 of in the past 2 months is what we're calling the t-shirt dress, but it's not really a t-shirt dress. It's a dress that's kind of longer. It's almost to the knee, and it's a nice, softer cotton fabric. And what I like to do with it is I always believe in creating a waistline. So yes, right now, like the high waist is very in, and like about 5 to 7 years ago, the low waist was very in. It definitely changes. But my rule for that at any age you are, and especially if you're like a mom or whatever, is pick the waistline that looks best on you and find a way to create it. So the way that I've done that is like I wear a flannel seriously almost every day. Like I tie a flannel where my natural waist is almost every day. And it helps just kind of create a more feminine look to a boxier dress. My boyfriend makes fun of me. He's like, what are those things that you wear every day that are like this? What is that? I'm like, yes, I wear it every day. I wear flannel every day. So that's one of the things that I definitely suggest, is just very comfortable dresses, but find a way to create your own waistline with the belt or with the shirt tied around, or however you want to do it. Also, what's really in right now, and I think is so chic and works on every age, the hem length right now is midi. So like just below the knee, right before your calf starts. That is so in right now, and it's very chic. You can definitely dress it down with like a t-shirt and a cool hat or like sandals, but you can also really dress it up and wear it in a longer dress or with a nicer shirt. It's very chic, and it's totally appropriate for any age range. So if I were a mom, I would buy like 12 midi skirts, cute graphic t-shirts or whatever, and call it a day, because it's very cute. It helps. And most of them are high-waisted, which I think is more flattering. So that would be my suggestion. Get a good fabric that stretches so you can run after the kids, kind of thing.
Awesome. I like it. Yeah. That's some good suggestions right there. And I'm wearing my graphic tee, so I'm feeling like maybe I'm there, although
you are.
I won't show you what's below. So I want to go back for a second, because you know me, I'm very global minded, and I love even what you were saying earlier about fast fashion. And I actually have a friend who, for an entire year, she only bought things that were ethically made, fair trade, things like that. And we've had some good discussions. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't fully understand that. Maybe we'll do a whole episode about that sometime. But as someone who's starting to discover this, where are you shopping? Like how are you making those kinds of choices that you feel like are best for the world, for someone who doesn't have a huge budget? Like, do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. I really do. It is difficult. It's something I'm like just now getting into, and like huge kudos to your friend, because that is so hard. It's just like any other big environmentally friendly decision. Like people who choose to be a vegetarian or a vegan for whatever reason, it's an expensive decision. If you've ever looked at vegetarian or vegan options, they're way more expensive than your normal options. I'm not vegetarian or vegan, but just kind of as an analogy, this is what I would suggest doing. So, have you ever taken a minute and looked at the tag on what you're wearing? Because I did not until this year, and it can tell you way more about your clothing than I ever could. If your tag says that it was made in Bangladesh, it was probably, not always, probably not sourced ethically. Because America, for the longest time, we've been exporting from China. China kind of got wise, and their people got wise, and they were like, you're completely underpaying us. So they raised their rates. So business-minded America, we moved our outsourcing to Bangladesh because it was cheaper. So just like one way that you can always know that you're getting quality or that you're not exploiting these people is look at the tag. And if it says it's from somewhere that you know the wages are too low, maybe don't buy from there. Another thing that's huge, and this is almost more of a project, I guess, is shopping from stores like Goodwill or resale stores is huge. Because all of the clothes that we don't wear and we give to Goodwill, almost 3/4 of it goes overseas and then never gets worn because we're literally just dumping. Like if you think of all the shirts you ever got from camp, those are probably in a foreign country. If you think of the leggings that you wore forever and then you threw out, those are probably in a foreign country. So the best way is to always check the tag, see if it's being ethically sourced from somewhere that has a higher rate. And if you can, shop at nice resale stores. There are really nice ones. I mean, I for sure go to like Plato's Closet, those kind of places. I guess store-wise, I know that stores like Nike and H&M got in a lot of trouble. There was a lot of lawsuits. It was a really big deal. So they are cleaning up their practices, and a lot of those stores on their website will have a section that tells you, this is where we outsource. This is how we're doing it ethically. If you have any questions, go here. Just because their consumers are actually holding them to it. So if you're ever wondering, like, is this store like a good store to search from? I would always go to the website and look and see if they have anything on it. And if they don't, then that's when I would start questioning.
Awesome. That's really helpful. It's something, honestly, I mean, I can say I haven't thought much about. You know, you just buy what you buy. And so it's good to be made aware. I think that's really, really important. And so I'm glad you talked about that. Well, before we wrap this up, we wanted to kind of end with one fun little question here. So what is your favorite accessory for this coming fall, winter season?
Oh, I have so many. Okay.
You can share more than one. But we're going to share ours too, so we want to hear from you.
So this kind of relates to the hair thing. I've been doing on the blog what I call third day hair. So it's like how to hide third day hair. There's just like a couple hairstyles I've been doing, whatever. But my favorite thing, which is totally an LA thing, and we can all blame California, they all wear these amazing like felt hats. And like, they're so cool. And they come in like all different colors, all different shapes. Like I chose one that kind of has like a wider brim, and it's this like really cool, like cobalt blue color. This fall, the main colors are going to be olive green, plum, and kind of a darker blue. So really any of those colors that you pick is going to go with a lot of things you're going to buy this fall. So I would totally buy a really cool hat. And if you think you're not hipster enough for it, you are. Putting the hat on makes you.
Are you sure, Katie? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm so glad you said that, because that was my thing. Was I bought 2 hats, and I'm like, okay, this is Nashville, and there are a lot of hipsters here.
Yes.
And I'm like, am I trying too hard? Do I need to like scale it back? But I bought these 2 hats, and I'm just gonna let you in on a secret about the white girls here. White, not our skin tone. If you didn't know, that's our maiden name. So the white girls.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Just needed to clear that up. Our parents' last name is White. Our last name was White before we got married. But anyway, those of us from that family, we have large heads.
I have a large head.
I blame my mother. She knows she's totally responsible for it. So it has limited us in the hats during arena for years and years. But I bought 2 hats, and they are both like the felt bigger, but so I'm excited. Okay, I'm going to do it. You gave me permission.
Yes, I was like I was like, I'm just not cool enough for that. Like, I'm from Texas. People are gonna be like, what are you doing? Yeah. The girl I lived with in LA, she's also a fashion major. She was like, you're buying one. We're finding one. We found one in Disney World. They have a hat store in Disney World. They have everything in Disney World, by the way, if you ever are going there. There's everything. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy one. Little did I know, she has like 10. She has like burgundy, maroon, tan, olive, black. Like, she has every color. And it is the best accessory, especially for fall, because I totally get like, I don't know, like there's certain seasons, like if you're wearing a hat, people are like, why? It's not sunny. You don't need it. Like, you can kind of pass it off as like, I need to wear this. It's fall. So that is like my favorite accessory so far. But there's several that I really enjoy, but that one is my favorite.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, Paige, besides leopard print booties, what is your favorite accessory?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this counts as an accessory, but I just actually purchased 2 different bomber jackets. I bought a floral one, and then I bought an olive green. I'm so glad to hear like that.
I bought an olive green yesterday.
But it's the longer one. The olive green is one that kind of is like a midi length, you know? And I actually preached in it this last Sunday, and I had all these people come through like, man, you look like, I don't know. So that's what I'm excited about.
Bomber jackets are really cool. And I had one from when I was like 13, but it had like this huge dragon on it. And I was like, I don't think I can pass it off as like a new one, but they're very cool. Definitely in.
Okay, good.
Okay. I'm feeling validated in my fashion choices this week because I purchased an olive green bomber jacket and I have my hats. So I'm feeling good about this. Katy, thank you so much for chatting with us. In our show notes, we're going to link to your Instagram, your blog, all your stuff, because you do give great advice and just have so many awesome tips, and you're just super fun to get to kind of follow you. And we're excited about what's ahead for you and what's next on the horizon. In the world of fashion, and you can keep us up to date and all your social media stuff. So thank you so much for joining us. And thanks everyone.
It was so fun. Thank you for having me. And I would love to link everything for y'all from my blog too, but just let me know.
Awesome. Well, everyone, have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week for the In Between podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in to episode 3 of the In Between podcast. Don't forget to go to our website, www.theinbetween.com, and you'll find all of our show notes and great information from this week's podcast. You can also connect to our Facebook and Instagram pages and join the In Between community. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you next time.